Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your friendly neighborhood makeup hobgoblin here. Today, it's kind of like a VIB sale recommendations from Sephora, but really I'm just going to use products that I really enjoy, and if they happen to be from Sephora, it's going to work out really well. So starting off, I always start with my C Firma from Drunk Elephant. This is the one thing I need to pick up during the sale. They last me about 4 to 5 months, so I'm able to buy them only at sales if necessary. My second go-to skincare product has been the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. I believe I got this either November, December of last year, and I've been using it basically every day since. And personally, I feel like my skin has been really, really good, so I'm gonna continue on using those two products. Now for moisturizer, I do a little bit of everything. Like, I've been using either Vanny Cream or like the rougher one that you could get for like $1, so that's kind of hard to go off of. I guess for a moisturizer type thing I could recommend, I guess, would be the Charlotte Tilbury cream. And I bought this mini years ago and I just refill it with samples. You'll see. So I always get the free sample of the magic cream and then I just refill this little container. I'm also going to try to pick brands that maybe are only at Sephora and not at Ulta. So for a glowy base, I've got two that I would recommend. The Glossier Future Dew. Both of these have weird scents. Like, this one smells, I don't want to say fruity, but it has a strong scent. This one is like unfragrant, so it has that weird smell. These are both really good. If I had to pick one, I would say the Glossier. However, I don't really feel I need to use a glowy base right now because I think I'm okay, but those are the two I recommend. And then I also like the Fenty like soft primer, but you can get that at Ulta. And honestly, Fenty does pretty good sales on the site. So for foundation, I am going to be using the YSL Nu Bare Tint. I have the shade 4. It's a little bit too golden for me, so I am going to be mixing in a color corrector. So this is the shade. It's just a little bit warm, and I just have the e.l.f. blue, whatever this is, and I'm just going to do a couple dots around it on my hand because you don't want to do too much or it's going to go really weird. And then I'm just going to take a spatula and I'm going to just mix it all up. And it's going to help kind of tone it down. And yeah, it's going to kind of green it out, which is actually okay for me based on my undertones. Because I end up going really gray. Like when I am really pale, I feel like I turn more gray than anything. So I feel like this works for me. And there's that. I'm gonna grab a brush. I'm gonna pick up the rest. And I don't use a lot of foundation, so please take my recommendations with a grain of salt. For concealer, I have one that you can only get at Sephora because it is Sephora brand. So this is the Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. I have the shade 08 Palmier. I couldn't tell you. And I'm just going to dab this on. I do feel like the shade range in this is like a little wonk, so it might be best to kind of swatch in store. Like, go to a Sephora with no makeup on and maybe put some swatches somewhere on your skin so you can kind of see what one works best for you. Because I will say this is not as peach as I normally go, but it still works really well. And I think with the 30% off, it's gonna be like less than 12 bucks, I think, because I feel like it retails for between like 15 or 18 maybe. which I think is a great deal. They also have the more full coverage concealer. That one I had a really hard time finding a shade for. I do think I have my shade listed in the description box. I try to do that with as many foundations as possible, just because if you relate to my skin tone, hopefully that can be helpful, because I find it really helpful. But take it all with like a grain of salt. And videos like this are kind of hard because I am such a drugstore baby. Like, it's truly insane. I love my drugstore products so much. For contour, I have two, or like bronzer type things. I'm gonna recommend two. So the first one is gonna be the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in light medium. This one you guys have seen me use, so I'm not gonna use this one today. And I do know it's hard to get sometimes, but I'm gonna use one of the Rare Beauty sticks in a new shade, but I've had the old one for a long time. I got the shade Bright Side because it is more neutral, more of a contour, which I prefer with my skin tone. Because before I had used both Power Boost and Happy Soul, but I really like this one. The tone is perfect. However, Rare Beauty is kind of hard to get because that sells out so fast, so take that with a grain of salt. But you can only get it there and on her website, which is kind of sad because I think it is an independent makeup brand. So if she were to like go to other retailers, that would be like elite. Because if you're not in the US, are you able to get Rare Beauty? That's sad. Never mind. I would also say the Makeup by Mario contour stick is nice. Some people have an issue with that because it's too emollient. I do not. But let's just jump right into blush. So I have two brushes I really want to recommend. This is also the Sephora brand. It's the 47 and the 56. These are two of my favorite blush brushes, especially for liquids, but I love them with creams just the same. I think I have 3 47s and 2 56s. I'm not allowed to buy any more brushes. Right, so for blushes, I'm gonna stick with my creams and liquids just because it's that time of year. My powder recommendation, no, I'm not even gonna say it because I wouldn't recommend getting it from Sephora. I'd wait till the brand does a sale. Pat McGrath, buy it on sale at Pat McGrath, period. One of the big runs I'm going to recommend is the matte blush wands, but they don't have one of the shades on Sephora, but I do like this one. This is the Pink Pop. That's my favorite. That's at Sephora. We've got Patrick Ta. This is in the shade She's Blushing, which is one of my favorites. Good for summertime. They have a lot of blushes. I have a lot of blushes from him, actually. And I really like them. I don't wear them the way he recommends, but I do enjoy them a lot. And then we also have Rare Beauty. So I'm going to use this one just because I looked today and they are all in stock still. So this is a new shade called Worth. I actually picked this up with I had a $100 reward, and you can't stack that with the sale. So one of my friends and I, we decided to pick them up early. And this is like what is this? A neutral, not a neutral rose, but I think it's pretty. So here's the shade. And I will say the matte the dewy formula is more favored over the matte, but I feel like depending on the base you have and just how you apply it, you could probably get both to work just the same. I just do 2 dots. This is the first full size I've ever bought because all my Rare Beauty blushes are from their Christmas holiday sets or free point perks. And I did get one big one in a holiday set last year, but that doesn't count because I didn't buy it on its own. So this was the first time I actually bought some of the blushes on their own. Wild. Now, my highlighter recommendation needs to be taken with a grain of salt because I do feel like these products go bad very quickly and it breaks my heart that they do. But if you're a regular makeup user and you're not a hobgoblin like the rest of us, the Merit highlighting balm, you guys, this is so beautiful. They end up smelling like Play-Doh. But, like, it's kind of worth it, though. Because why are they so pretty? Beautiful. And they have 3 different shades. I do have all 3. I don't want to talk about it. But I really do like them. I do have some new ones that I've fallen in love with, but... like, the nude sticks, I would say it's better to get at Ulta for the 21 days. Okay, we're really glowy. I'm trying to think of a powder that I like. I'm not really a powder girl. I do have... okay, I do have this Charlotte one, so maybe we can use that because I just want to set under my eyes. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish, I think. I have the shade Fair, which is the light one. And I'm just going to set my under eye area, like, kind of, I'm going to look at, like, my middle of my face and just kind of go off of what's happening there. Now, I don't always have to set my base. I just didn't know what, like, I was really glowy for a minute there. Got a little scary. Also, the little laugh lines, smile lines. All right. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. All right, let me see. I don't even think I have any primers. I don't. All my primers are, well, I do enjoy this one, the Urban Decay primer. I have used this, and I do have the ABH one, but some people don't like that one. So let's just use the Urban Decay. It is tried and true, and I do like that they have tinted options because I think sometimes it's nice to have like a tinted eye base because normally lately I've been using the MAC Paint Pot in Groundwork and Painterly, like not at the same time, but I've been liking that those have a colored base. But that's kind of its own thing. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to have 2 recommendations. One is going to be the Makeup by Mario Matte Palette. I do have his Ethereal eyes, but we're not going to talk about that. But this is the matte one. I do really like it. I've used it for a lot of events or like photo shoots. I find it best to have a matte eyeshadow on for things like that. My number 1 eyeshadow brand or eyeshadow palette recommendation for Sephora, especially if you have the 20% off, it's going to be Natasha Denona, and I'm not talking about any palette specifically. I grabbed this one because I haven't used it in a while, and I think it'll match my blush. But I really enjoy the Retro Glam and the My Dream. I feel like I can recommend, especially if you don't have any other palettes. Or honestly, some of the minis. I'm contemplating getting the mini pastel, but I do have the mini retro, and I think that one's good. Bless you. One of the dogs. It's just a dog and a cat. So today I'm going to be using the Retro Big Palette. I picked this up a couple months back just to really try, because I I went through a love-hate with Natasha Denona, and I did find that I do respect and appreciate her eyeshadow formula. So I'm gonna start with Nude Mauve, and I'm just going to buff that in the crease. I'm not doing anything today, so keep that in the back of your mind. And like what I'm wearing today for my makeup is something that I would like wear to work. Like I would very easily do this look. Maybe skip some steps if I don't have time to get ready, but these are products that I've been going to, especially my YSL little foundation thing, just because now that I have that blue color corrector, I can just add a little bit and it's perfect. So I really like that. All right. Threw that in the crease, easy peasy, taking the shade Maud, putting that in the inner corner. Don't know what that little pimple is. It's really irritating, honestly, if you were me at this time. Throwing that on. Gonna go in with a smaller brush. Let's go in with one of my Sonia G brushes. I can't get I don't think I have any eyeshadow brushes from Sephora that I can recommend. Not that they're bad, I don't want to use this with a cream to powder. What am I doing? What am I doing? I almost just ruined my Sonia G brush. What the heck was that about? Okay, I'm gonna go. Gosh, I really wasn't thinking. Okay, I'm gonna go in. This brush is a little dirty. We're just wiping it off. I just have one of those makeup towels. Oh, I also recommend the makeup eraser, but take that as you will. Do what you want with that. And the Pharmacy Cleansing Balm. A Dream. Okay, we're taking apart. We're gonna put that on the outer part of the lid. Oh, also the Summer Fridays lip balm. I just got the pink one that's like pink buttercream. It is so cute. Such a cute little product. What are other things that are Sephora exclusive? I don't even know. And that's not what this video really is. I'm just like doing my face with products, and if you like something, it's probably a good time to pick it up. I also can recommend the Sephora collection single eyeshadows, like Choco Express and those ones. There's some really intense shimmers. The good thing about the Sephora collection brand is you can typically swatch that in store. So I would say just swatch some of their shimmer singles, see if you like any. I found a few little fan favorites from Sephora. So it's those brushes, the concealers, and then I do enjoy the lip liners and some of the lipsticks, but that's really personal preference. So the cream lipsticks, the lip liner, and then the regular bullet lipsticks I feel like are all good. I don't really know what we're doing. I'm gonna take the shade Jude and put that on at least the majority of the lid, but maybe not in the inner corner. I don't know. I'm probably gonna top that sparkly shade over it. I've really, in the last year, I've truly come to appreciate Natasha Denona and her shimmer formula. Taking Psychedelic from the middle, it's that little sparkly shade, and I'm just going to place that on the middle of my lid and the inner corner. How cute. Love it. And then since I'm not going anywhere, I'm not gonna do a waterproof mascara. I'm just gonna do a regular one. So Maybelline Total Temptation. I do enjoy the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water though. But if I'm gonna recommend a mascara to you, it's either gonna be This one, if you don't want waterproof, the Milani tubing mascara, or if you want waterproof, any L'Oreal waterproof mascara I would recommend. So Maybelline for non-waterproof, L'Oreal for waterproof, and the Milani tubing for a tubing mascara. None of that Essence Lash Princess crap, because I hated that. Sorry, I'll die on that hill. Okay, and then an honorable mention, I would rather you get it from Ulta when there's a sale, but I'm not going to gatekeep. We've got the Urban Decay liners. This is in the shade Shroom or Mushroom, and oh my god, it's so cute. I feel like Laura May Beauty's been talking about it, and I'm so glad that like a bigger influencer is talking about how cute this shade is, because it's so cute. Okay, whatever. All right, so I feel like with using the retro palette and having this in my hair, it's very mod. All right, so for lips, I will recommend, of course, like I said, the lip liners from Sephora collection. Mainly the shade Dressed to the 90s is a great one. Then for the lip product, you've got their little like regular lipsticks, and then also like their cream ones. So I recommend those if there's a shade that you like. But what I really want to use is... Oh, I also have an honorable mention of the Rare Beauty lip tint, because I've been using that recently and I've really enjoyed it. But my favorite lip liners of life are going to be from Charlotte Tilbury. I have the shade Iconic Nude and the shade Pillow Talk. Like, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that I don't like it. Let me do Iconic Nude, because I think I'm gonna go in with, yeah. So we're gonna do Iconic Nude, and we're just gonna line the lippies. The only thing about these lip liners is they do dry out, but you can still use them. I've had my Pillow Talk lip liner for years. It's a little dry, but it still works. I just have to push a little harder. When I finish that up, I will replace it 100%. And again, this is me just recommending things you can typically only get at Sephora. So for lipstick recommendations, I have 1.5. Not 1.5. I mean, I have one that I really recommend and then one that's kinda. So the Gucci lipsticks, I've got a matte and a satin. So in the satin formula, I have Susan Nude. Ugh, I hate the smell of these. And then in the matte formula, I have the Painted Veil. I got this on a vacation. They're okay. If you're really wanting to try one, I would say take advantage of the 20% off. But for ones that I think are going to be great, it's going to be the Merit ones. I have the shade Baby in 1990. I did once have this shade Slip, but I felt it almost did nothing for me because of my lip color. So I ended up getting 1990, which this is a newer one to me because Baby's been a favorite for a while. I think they're great and they're so cute. And you know I love doing like blue cool toned looks, so I feel like Baby works out really well for that. And then 1990, I'm still trying to work with it because I do feel like it gears warm on me, where other people it stays more neutral. But it's just like a Your Lips But Better. And I don't want to apply too much because I don't want it to be too intense. But I really do like these lipsticks, and I have really, I don't want to say sensitive lips because that sounds weird, but I have really finicky lips, like really My lips peel a lot, so I would say keep that with like a grain of salt, or with the recommendation, because it's one of the few that I like. Like, there could be so many more good lipsticks, you know? I do have another honorable mention that I do want to tell you just in case, because it has not gone on sale on her website yet, which is why I got mine from Sephora, and it's this, and I think it's beautiful. This is the Iconic Infatuation from Pat McGrath. It is lovely. It is so pretty. I really enjoy it. I kind of wish I'd used it today, but this isn't a permanent item because it's limited edition. I love this. I got it with my $100 point redemption because I wanted it really bad, and I'm so glad that I got it. They only have this one and the matte one on Sephora. The other one's exclusive to her site. But if you like pinky tones and like the mauves and like the warmy rose kind of shades for like an everyday neutral look, this is beautiful. And I feel like her metallic formula in here is a lot better than it used to be, because I didn't like any of the small Pat McGrath palettes because it feels different, but this one is actually really nice. So I think that is it for everything that I can kind of recommend for the Sephora sale, but it's really just things I use on a normal day-to-day. So keep that in mind, and you don't need to get anything. I'm sure you have at least one of these products maybe kicking around. But let me know what you're gonna restock on, because I don't want to promote too much spending because I'm not supposed to be doing it either. But I do need to restock on this because it's starting to just explode everywhere, and there's a massive air bubble and there's like this much left. So I'm excited to get this because that's my holy grail, and I tried going without it and it hurt me. So yeah, let me know what you're restocking on, and yeah, just comment down below and say hi, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one.